welcome to this DILR marathon series and sessions. This is going to be another marathon session, in which we are going to do multiple DILR sets on the lines of CAT. Okay, and I'm sure you would be enjoying this series. So we'll have some more sets of CAT level DILR that will be discussed today. Okay, so good evening all, welcome to this session. And I think there is some issue with my webcam. I'll just fix it, so give me a minute. Right, I don't know what's happening with this today. So today we are going to have some like we have in every session we have certain sets of DILR. So today also we are going to discuss some sets. Okay, so let's start with the last week's question that was given as the homework. So let's start with that, and then we'll move on to the questions. Okay, so good evening, Priya, Shantanu, Shivam, Rohan. Welcome all to the session. Okay, so we have this MHCET All India live mock which is running, and it is available till tomorrow noon. So in case you want to take it, you can just take it for free. You do not have to you don't have to pay anything for this. You can just take it for free and evaluate your performance. And we have launched one course for MHCET as well, a crash course, and this is as per the latest announcement. Okay, all right, so this was last year's homework, right? So this question was given in the homework last time, that like there are three people, Karan, Lalit and Mohit. They play a game, and two of them play a set. Then the winner stays in the court to play the one who sat out. During the tournament, Karan played 18 sets, Lalit played 17 and Mohit played 11, right? So I had given this as a homework question, right? However, I could not get any correct answer, right? So we have, let's see what is the solution to this. How many of you did this? How many of you did this question? Did you solve this question? All right, so let us see how to solve this question. See, first of all, the thing is, first of all, let us find the number of games. Okay, so Karan played 18 times, Lalit played 17 and Mohit played 11. So how many times did they play in all? Right, 18 plus 17 plus, that is 46. Right, they played 46 times, right? And in every game we know that there are two players, right? If in every game there are two players, right? So there are 23 games. Okay, so you tried. Okay, so there will be 23 games. Okay, we know that there are going to be 23 games in this tournament, right? So let us now can you answer this? I have given you the hint also that how to find this. Now can you answer this question based on this hint? So there are 23 games. I gave you a hint that there will be 23 games. Now see this. How will we see in game one person plays, and whosoever is wins. Let us say let's say Karan and Mohit are playing a game, right? Suppose Karan wins. So next match who will play? Mohit and Karan and Lalit, right? Mohit will not play that game. Okay. So suppose like whoever wins will stay in the game, and whoever loses will be eliminated, right? So there are 23 games that are being played, and what we know in this is what do we know in this case is that Karan and Mohit, they played. So Mohit has played 11 games out of them, right? Now, if 20 out of 23, if you are getting like one person is getting 11 games, so what does it mean? Can you figure out something from this? That if one player is playing 11 games, what does that mean? Yeah, so see, there are 23 games, right? So it is happening 23. So 23 games. It is given that Mohit is playing 11 games, right? So he must have played alternate games. Yeah, so he played alternate games, right? So he must have played out of 23, he played 11 games. So he must have played second, fourth, sixth, eighth, and so on up to 22 games, right? And he never won, right? He never won because if he wins, he would be playing one more game, right? So Mohit won 0 games, and in set 11, who will play? Because he played even numbered games in this, Karan and Lalit must have played the game. Okay, he never won any game because if he wins, he would play the next game also. Okay, if he won, he would have played the next game also, right? So he won 0 game. He played in 11 games and did not win any of the games. Okay, so that's how we solve this question. Okay. All right. So is it clear how we did this? Okay, so let us start with the set for the day. I hope you got the solution to the question. Okay, let us start with the first set. Okay, so this is the first set that we are going to solve today. It says that David, Edwin, George, Peter, and Smith, they live in 5 houses in a street, and these houses are numbered 1 to 5 from left to right, right? And then some profession is given to profession is given, the profession of different people, right? These 5 people have different profession that is given to you. Okay, and what it says is uh, then like they have some different pet and their age is also given to you. Okay, so solve this set. Now can we find I mean, Okay, so Raj, have you solved the entire thing or you just got for this? So we have five houses from left to right, one, two, three, four, five. We have person, age, profession, and pet. So person, age, profession, and pet. Right. So we have four attributes in five houses. Okay. The houses are one, two, three, four, five. Anything directly given. So these are the five professions. These are the five pets. These are the ages. And the product of their house numbers and their ages is a multiple of 12. Okay. Okay. So from this, could you get anything? So from this, what we will get is 32 will be the age of one who is lives in house number 3, right? Because 32 into 1 cannot be a multiple of 12, into 2 cannot be a multiple of 12, right? 3 so only possibility is 32 is this. Okay, 24, 30, others we cannot tell, right? But what I can say is 42 and 42 and 30 will be among 2 or 4, right? So this is 2 or 4. Okay, and 24 and 36 will be among 1 and 5. Okay, so 32 is 3, 24 and 36. So 1 and 5 you will have 24 or 36, because they cannot have this way, right? And 2 you could have 30 or 42, because they could both give you a multiple of 12, right? You cannot have like if you put 24 or this thing, you will not be able to have a multiple of 12 using 1 itself. Like 30, if you multiply 30 by 1 or 30 by 5, you do not give a multiple of 12, right? So this is this is what we have, right? We can just put it 3 for now, and we can see ahead and fill the information. Okay, Peter stays in house number 3, so this is Peter. Okay, the architect and person, okay, do not stay. David turtle, right? David owns the turtle. So David is turtle and is not at an end. So David could be here or here. Okay. So doctor who owns the squirrel stays in the house exactly between the teacher and the scientist, but not in house number 3, right? So doctor is having the squirrel, right? Right? Doctor is having the squirrel, and that stays in house between teacher and scientist. So doctor, so one of these will be squirrel and one of these will be turtle. So David and turtle, right? Either David and turtle will be here or it will be here. Okay, so David and turtle could be here or here, and likewise you have doctor and squirrel, right? So you can have either turtle or squirrel. Similarly, squirrel or turtle from these two statements. Okay. Smith is a 24-year-old scientist and does not own the dog. Okay. Smith is 24-year-old scientist. Okay. So Smith can be one of these two. Okay. Smith can be this or this. Okay. So let us see. Let us find ahead. Edwin does not stay to the left of the lawyer. Okay, so Edwin will be to the right of the lawyer. So Edwin cannot be here. The architect is not the oldest among them. Okay, so what we know from this is uh, what else can you determine anything else from this? See, architect does not stay at the end, right? See, one thing, architect does not stay at end, right? And then you have uh, that doctor is not at an end. Architect and doctor cannot be at an end, right? So one of teacher and scientist will be at an end. See, architect does not stay at an end, right? Acha, see this thing. The person owning the cat does not stay at an end. So we know that this is turtle and squirrel. This will be cat. This person will own cat. Okay. Now, architect will not stay at an end. So who are the people who are staying at an end, right? So architect is not staying at an end. Okay. See this thing. Architect is not staying at an end, and the doctor is also not staying at an end. Now one of teacher, so one of teacher and scientist will stay at an end, right? So one is teacher or scientist, and what is the fifth profession? The fifth profession is the lawyer. So lawyer will be at an one end, right? So if we talk about end, one is the teacher or scientist, the second will be the lawyer. Okay. So now it says that Edwin does not stay to the left of the lawyer. So it means that Edwin will do the lawyer right of lawyer. So this will be lawyer. Okay, this is lawyer. Now one person is between teacher and scientist. So that teacher and scientist, that person will be this person, right? And the doctor is between teacher and scientist. So this is the person who is the doctor. He owns the squirrel, right? And he will be the person between teacher and scientist. So this person owns turtle. Okay, is it clear? Is this thing clear? The doctor is this. Why? Because he, I'll repeat this thing. One thing is given that architect does not stay in the end, right? And the doctor also does not stay in the end. Doctor stays between teacher and scientist, right? So doctor is one of these two, right? So doctor is between one end person. That could be teacher or scientist. Both cannot be staying at the end. So the remaining person, lawyer, will definitely stay at the end. And it is given that Edwin does not stay to the left of the lawyer, right? So it means that lawyer cannot be on the right end. Okay, so lawyer will be this. Now the other person will be teacher or scientist, right? Who is at the end. Now if teacher or scientist is at the end, that gives you that doctor is between teacher and scientist. So this will be doctor who owns the squirrel. So this is the person owning turtle, and that is David. Okay, David owns the squirrel. Now see this. Teacher or scientist will stay here. Now what is given to you as Smith is 24-year-old scientist. So this cannot be Smith, right? This is Smith. This is scientist. This will be teacher. Okay, and the last profession left is architect. So this will fill the all the professions, right? So all five professions filled. Okay, now scientist is 24-year, that is given to you, right? So scientist is 24-year-old, so this will be 24 and this will be 36. Clear? So we got all these scientists, I mean all these professions. We are left with two your two pets, two persons and their ages. Okay, all right, so let us see this. What is given to us is that cat does not, okay, that we have filled. David owns the turtle, does not live at either end, that also filled. So Smith does not own the dog, right? Smith does not own the dog, so this person will own the dog, right? And Smith will own rabbit. Okay, dog is for, then who is the person remaining out of these? The architect is not the oldest among them, right? Acha, so Edwin does not stay to the left of the lawyer, so Edwin will be to the right of lawyer, right? So this will be Edwin, this will be George. Okay, so George owns this, and architect is not the oldest among them, right? So architect is not the oldest, so this will be 30-year-old, this will be the 42-year-old. Okay, so that is the only information left. So architect is not the oldest, 30, and this will be 42. Okay, so this is how we can fill all this information. Ages. See, age, it is given that age is a multiple of 12, right? So if I talk about the person 32 years of age, so what is given, that house number, right? Ages and house number, product of house number and ages is a multiple of 12. So if I take 32, 32 if I multiply by 1, I'll get 32, 64, 96, 128, 160, right? Only 96 is the multiple of 12. So 32 will be definitely here. Okay. Now 24 and 36. See, now 30, 30 and 42. If I multiply this by 30, 40, I will get 30. If I multiply by 42, I will get 42. Not multiples of 12. Okay. 30, 150, 210. Not multiples of 12. So that means that these two will be the 30 and 42, and these two will be 36 and 24. Okay, so this is how we fill the ages. Okay, so this is how we'll fill it. So good set. I hope you got how we solved it. Okay, finding the end points, that was the key, that finding the end point, we got the professions. Okay, all right, so now we can answer the questions. Peter's profession, Peter is the teacher. Okay, the person owning the rabbit is 24 years old, and the doctor is Edwin. Okay, all right. Okay, so we have this sale going on. You can use the coupon code unlock50 to avail 50% discount on our courses on Gradeup Super subscription. Okay. Okay, so let's do the second set for the day. That is what? That is your favorite Venn diagram. Okay, so something from Venn diagram. Let's solve this. Okay, so it talks about 3 courses being done, right? And machine learning, blockchain, digital marketing, and some information given to you, right? So let us do this. Okay, so some students are enrolled in one certification, some in multiple also, right? Okay, okay, we'll have four variables one also. Okay, sometime we'll have that also. So there are three courses, right? So let's do this, right? So machine learning, blockchain, and digital marketing. Okay, and so always you should start with something that is directly given to you, right? So now these are in 3/4 of the number of something, 40%, right? Some information given 20%, right? So nothing in this given. Now first is given that 21 students did not enroll in any of the certification. So outside you will have 21, as simple as that. Okay, so that is the first information, let us put. Okay, now, if we see that some relation, it says the number of students only in machine learning is 3/4 the number of students only digital marketing, right? And here it is given that 1/4 of the total students are enrolled in only digital marketing, right? Only digital marketing, only digital marketing. Okay. So if I put the number of, so 1/4 of total is only digital marketing, and 3/4 of this is only machine learning, right? So let us say the number of students is 16x, right? So let us take the number of students as 16x. Why? Because only digital marketing you will get 4x, and only machine learning you will get 3x, right? So sometimes you take variables x, right? Then you will say 1/4 of x, 3 by 16 of x. So take the variable itself as a multiple of 16, right? So only digital marketing is 4x, and only machine learning is 3x. Clear? Now see this. The number of students, blockchain and machine learning, but not digital marketing. Okay, this has been used. Now we know only machine learning, right? Only machine learning is known, right? So it says the number of students who enrolled in both digital marketing and machine learning is 20% more than the number of students enrolled in only machine learning, right? So that is 3x. So number of students enrolled in both digital marketing and machine learning will be digital marketing and machine learning. This total will be 3.6x, right? This should be 3.6x, right? Okay, it's 20% more than that, right? So that will be 3.6x. Okay. Now let us see if we can put some more information into this, right? Any more information that can be put here? Okay, the number of students only machine learning is 3 times the number of students enrolled in blockchain, right? So it says that it is 3 times the number of students enrolled in blockchain and machine learning, but not digital marketing. So this will be X. Blockchain and machine learning, but not digital marketing. Blockchain and machine learning, but not digital marketing. So this value will be how much? This will be X. So we've got these values, right? Now what we will do, we have figured out these values. So what else is known, right? The number of students who enrolled in both digital marketing and blockchain is the average of the number of students enrolled only in digital marketing and only in blockchain. Okay, we do not know how many are enrolled only in blockchain, right? Second point says the number of students only blockchain is 40% more than the number of students enrolled in blockchain and machine learning, but not digital. Acha, yes. So we got this X. So this is 40% more, right? So it says that the number of students only blockchain is 40% more than blockchain and machine learning, but not digital marketing, right? So that will be 1.4x. Okay, this is 1.4x. Now what is left to with us is the number of students enrolled in blockchain and machine learning, but not digital marketing, right? Blockchain and machine learning, but not digital marketing is twice the number of students enrolled in blockchain and digital marketing, but not machine learning. So that will be 0.5x. Okay, from this point I will get this value as 0.5x. Isn't it? The number of students enrolled in blockchain and machine learning, no, but not digital marketing, is twice the number of students enrolled in blockchain and digital marketing, but not machine learning. Blockchain and machine learning, X is 2 times. Okay, so that is what it says, isn't it? And the number of students who enrolled in both digital marketing and machine learning is 20% more, right? So this is both digital marketing and this is 20% more than this. And third last point says the number of students who enrolled in both digital marketing and blockchain. Digital marketing and blockchain is the average of the number of students enrolled only in digital marketing and only in blockchain. Only digital marketing this, only blockchain is this, right? So that will give you how much? This is 5.4, so this will be 2.7x, right? 2.7x will be both digital marketing and blockchain. So this will give you 2.2x, right? And then this will be 1.4x. Is that you will get? Right, and then we'll just solve for them, right? 0.5x. See, it is saying that the number of students enrolled in blockchain and machine learning but not digital marketing. Blockchain and machine learning but not digital marketing. X is 2 times the number of students enrolled in blockchain and digital marketing but not machine learning. Blockchain and digital marketing but not machine learning. So this is 0.5x. Okay, so let us add all these. What do you get? So we get 8x plus 3.6, right? That is 8x plus 4.1, that is 12.1, 13.5x. Isn't it? 4, 8, 8 and 4.1. 13.5x plus 21 is equal to 16x. And something is wrong in this data. There's something wrong. We're not getting this perfect thing, right? Are we getting perfect number or did we make some mistake somewhere? So 3.6, that 21 we have taken, right? 13.5x plus 21, right? So we are getting in decimals. So some statement must be wrong out of it, right? Only B is wrong. Only blockchain is fine, right? Only blockchain was 40% more, right? Only blockchain is 40% more than the number of students enrolled in blockchain and machine learning, but not digital marketing. Something is wrong, right? So what we did was we determined these values and then 2.7. Acha, 2.2, see, this is 2.7x, right? So this is average of these two. So the average, both digital marketing and blockchain is average of only digital marketing, that is 4x, and only blockchain. So this average is 2.7x, right? Okay, sum is 12.5. Okay, let me check. 8, 4.1, 12.1, 13.5. Both ML and blockchain is wrong. So see, this is 2.7, right? If this is 0.5, this will be 2.2. 3.6 came from here, right? The number of students only blockchain is 49. This thing, the number of students both digital marketing and machine learning is 20% more. So if this is 3x, right? So this will become 3.6x. Right? Something is wrong with the data. I'm assuming that something is wrong, because I mean, if I can be wrong, that is perfectly fine. But others, you are also not getting any everything in decimals, right? If you're getting something in decimal, that means something is wrong in this. No, you cannot get the number of students in this thing, right? So let us see what has been given in the answers. Okay, so 21. This is 3/4 of this. This is 1/3, 40% more, right? This is 36, 3.6x. ये भी सही है. 27, 2.7x. अच्छा, I got which statement is wrong, right? I got it. यहाँ पे ये जो 0.5x लिया है वो 0.5x नहीं होगा. It will be actually, so what they have given is, ये वाला statement wrong है. ये वाला statement wrong है. It should be the number of students enrolled in blockchain and machine learning, right? Blockchain and digital marketing, but not machine learning. So actually it should be all three, right? If it was all three, right, all three is twice the number of students, right? If it was all three, because this is twice of this, then we would have got the answer. I mean, by looking at this final Venn diagram, see, this is 3/4 of this, that is fine, right? This is 1/3 of this, that is also fine. This is 40% more, that is also satisfying. So we found that this was 3.6 times, right? That is also satisfying, right? 20% more than this. Okay, this was average of these things, that is also satisfying. So only condition which is failing is this is half of this. So it should have been half of, I mean, instead of that, it should have been half of this. Okay, so if that was the condition, then we would get this answer. So if it, instead of half of all three, right? So half of all three, I mean, this statement is taken wrong. This should have been half of all three. So let us just see that if we can correct it and get the result here. Right, so this we had filled. This was 40% more. Okay, now if we take half of all three, so this is half of this, and this plus this is 2.7, right? So this will be 0.9x, and in this will be 1.8x, and then 1.8x. Okay, so now if I add, I think we should get the total correct. So 8 and 4.5, 12.5, and 13.9. So in this case we will get 13.9x plus 21 is 16x. Yes, so that will give you x is equal to 10, right? So yeah, so this statement was wrong, right? So enrolled in all three, right? So instead of this, it should be enrolled in all three. Okay, this should be all three, and that would make the question correct. Okay, you want me to write okay, so I'll just update it, right? So just give me a minute, I'll just update it. Okay, so sometimes there are, I mean, there could be errors in questions, right? Yeah, so this is the correct statement, right? So using these statements you will get it. Others were fine, right? So only this statement was wrong, right? All three courses, it should have been all three, and you will get the right answer. Okay, so Aniket, which class you had this set? Acha, in Gradeup course. Okay, yeah, so this is question from our like some pool itself, right? I just picked the question, I didn't solve it, I thought that it must be correct, so I just picked this question and took it, right? So maybe there might have been some error and not rectified. Okay, so now total number of students in the institute is 160. Okay, how many students enrolled only in blockchain? So only blockchain is 14, right? Enrolled in digital marketing, right? Right, so enrolled in digital marketing is this. Yeah, that can also be there, right? You can take half of any of these things but not this, right? So it could be half of this machine learning and digital marketing but not blockchain, or it could be half of this but definitely not this, right? That made the mistake. Maybe this thing was an issue, right? So probably that's why. Okay, all right, so how many students enrolled in digital marketing, right? So that is 45 plus 40, 85. How many students enrolled in both machine learning and blockchain certifications? So answer this question, right? So I want to see that how many of you are, how many of you know this concept correctly. Answer the last three questions. What will be the answer to these three questions? So when it says both machine learning and blockchain, sometimes some people take it only this portion, right? Some people take only this. No, it is not. It is not mentioning anything about digital marketing. So you will consider this entire portion. Okay, some people answered 10 to these questions. So it's good to know that all of you have answered it correctly, right? Some people just consider this question portion. Okay, so yes, that is 28. How many students enrolled in at least two certifications? Right, so at least 2 is 45, 30, sorry, 55, 36, 45 and 10, 55. Last answer, how many students enrolled in at most 2 certifications? See, remember, at least 2 means 2 plus 3, right? 2 or 3 certifications. Okay, what is the last answer? How many students enrolled in at most 2 certifications? See, at most 2 means maximum 2, right? Maximum 2 could mean 0, 1, 2. So it will include all three things, right? So just from the total subtract 18. 160 is the total. The answer will be 142. Do not ignore this, right? Consider this also. When you count at most 2, that are the common mistakes in Venn diagram, right? People make these common mistakes in Venn diagram. They forget to count 0, right? So you have to count that also. Okay, all right, so that is this set. Okay, so let's move to the next set. It says that there are 8 persons and they were born in different years and lived for different years. Okay, so their ages are given to you and they were also born in different years, right? And then some information is given to you, right? And right, some person died in some year, for some person they have given that right, in which year were they born. So basically you have to find out which person lived from which year to which year. Okay, so that's what you have to fill in the table. For some year, some people they have given the year of birth. Some people they have given you the year of death, right? So some partial information is given for people. So fill the table. Now, whenever you have some matrix-based question, right? So whenever you have to fill a matrix, so you should consider that which should be the first column, right? That decides that how are you going to attempt the question, right? Now, what will some people do in this cases? They will take like the birth year. See, like some people would take it in a chronological order and try to fill that, right? However, if you see this, if you see the data that is given to you, right? So in matrix-based questions, whenever you have a grid of values, so you have to decide which should be the first column, right? Now, since it is a number-based puzzle, some people think that let us put year-wise, like age 26. Let first, some could be like some people could start with the first column age, right? People could start with birth year, right? Thinking that let us arrange these people in chronological order, right? Some people could start with name. Okay, now which of these is the best option to start? See, that makes a difference, that how much time will you take to solve this puzzle. If you identify the first column correctly, that will, I mean, drastically determine the time that you will take, right? Because if you take the wrong column, right, wrong row column, like whenever you have to draw some matrix or kind of thing, if you draw it wrong in the beginning, that will just snatch away time from you, right? So it happened with me this year, right? There was one set, I drew it in the wrong dimension, right? I should have, there was some contractor in some colleges, or I don't know what was that case. So I took in the wrong dimension, right? So that makes it like troublesome for people, right? But when after when the answer responses were released, I solved it the other way around. I thought that okay, it had I solved it, I would have got 100% score in DILR, right? I got 4 sets correct and I had 10 minutes to solve that. I could not solve that set in 10 minutes. And when I checked that later, I tried the other way around. I was able to do it in some 6-7 minutes. So I would have done all questions correct in the examination and still had time left with me, right? So that is the importance of figuring out the right column, right, in a matrix, how you should make it in the right way. So see, a lot of things are taught about person, right? So C was born in this year, right? And A died in this year. E was born in this year. B was born in this. So a lot of things are given about the people, right? So instead of age, use name as the first column. And you know the names also, right? Age also is known, name is also known. So let us use name as the first column. And make the table. So good thing is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So generally you will have names like this, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, P, Q, R, S, like this. If they want to play with you and make some things hard, they will put such names like all names starting with the same alphabet. Okay, so then you will be in trouble. But generally you will see in logical reasoning, especially in CAT and all, you will see names are friendly at least. They will think of names from U, V, W, X, Y, Z and create some name, right? You see the questions, right? They will create names from all possible alphabets and make them in an alphabetical order so that you can create those tables easily. Okay, all right. So now let us directly fill data, something which can be filled, right? C was born in 1880, right? And lives 11 years less than the one who died in 1872, right? Now see, this is something that that can be used, right? So 11-year difference between these two. Okay, what all ages have? 37, 48 is one of the gaps with 11. Okay, so this 11-year gap is either 26, 37 or 37, 48. Is there any other pair that you can see with the difference of 11 years? No. Right, so that could be, right, so C could be 26 years old or 37 years old, and the person who died in 1872 will be one of these two. Okay, so we will use this later, but we know that there are only two possibilities. So remember, whenever there is a number based puzzle, right, and you are given this difference in years or kind of thing, right, so definitely there will be fewer cases. You won't be able to like, you will not have multiple possibilities, so you will just get two cases in this scenario. Okay, C died 17 years after H, who lived the highest number of years. So H lived for 57 years. Okay, D was born 2 years before H. Okay, we'll use it later. A died in 1889 and 4 years after D. So D died in 1885. A was born after 1850. Okay, now see, A could be, if it is saying that A was born after 1850, what does this mean? If A was born after 1850, his age is 26 or 37, right? He has to be, like, if it is after 1850, so A is less than 39 years of age. A is less than 39 years of age. So A could be one of these people. So we know that if we can frame from the two cases, right? If A is 26, C will be 37, and the person dying in 1872 will be 48, right? If A is equal to 26, C will be 37, right? And the person dying in like, let's say 1872 wala person will be 48, right? If I take A as 37, right, I cannot get any result. Why? Because in that case, A died in, so C will be, see, if I take A 37, what will happen? If I take A 37, then this will be A, right? C and 37, this will become A. Are you getting it? If I take this A as 37, this will become A, right? And C, but A did not die in 1872. A died in 1889. So A is 26 years old. So he must be born in 1863. C is 37 years old. And some person who died in 1872 died at the age of 48. So he was born in 1834. Okay. All right. So let us fill more information. E was born in 1819 and lived for more than 43 years. Okay. All right. G died 30 years after E and didn't live for 43 years. Okay, G died 30 years after E, we do not know. B was born in 1823. Okay. Repeat A's age. See, it says that A was born in, A died in 1889. Okay. A was born after 1850. So if he was born after 1850, A lived for less than 39 years. Is it clear? So A could be 26 or 37. Okay. If I take A equal to 37, what will happen? C has to be one of 26 or 37. So if A is 37, C will become 26. Now the condition is C lived for 11 years less than the one who died in 1872. So if C lived for 26 years, A must have lived for 37 years and A must have died in 1872, right? But we are given that, right? So it is given that this A died in 1889. Okay, so that's why that will be wrong. Okay. So C died in 1917 years, correct? 1824 आएगा. What we will get 1824? So acha, C died 17 years after H, right? So H died in 1900 and H must be born in 1843. Is it clear? C died 17 years after H. So H died in 1900 and H was born in 1843. Isn't it? Okay, let us see some more information that can be put. D was born 2 years before H. Okay, so D was born in 1841. So D lived for 44 years. Okay, so D lived for 44 years. All right, this is also filled. So we have to fill 4 more values. 48 years. Are we given anything about 48 years? (1872, 1824). किसके लिए कह रहे हो आप 1824? अच्छा, E lived for more than 43, so E could be 48 or 50. ठीक है, E 48 या 50 हो सकता है, right? G died 30 years after E and didn't live for 40 years. B was born in 1823. Acha, हाँ. So, acha, I got your point that 1870. Acha, this 1824 got it. This will be 1824, correct. So 1824, that person died after 48 years. So that is 1872, right? So 1872, there is a person born in 1824. He died in 1872. Now that person cannot be B, right? That person cannot be E, right? That could be F or G. This person could be F or G. We are not sure yet. Okay, but that cannot be E or B. Acha, E could be 48 and 50. Right now, see, E lived for more than 40. See what is given that E lived for more than 43 years. Right? E lived for more than 43 years. E cannot be this person of 48 years. 57 is already filled. 44 is already filled by D. Right? So what we will be E? E will be the 50-year-old person. Right? So E lived for 50 years and died in 1869. Right? The year Mahatma Gandhi was born. Okay. So E is already done. Now we have one person of 48 years left. 143 and 140. So G did not live for 43 years, right? G died 30 years after E. Okay, so G died in 1899. Okay, G did not live for 43 years. So this person did not live for 43 years. This could be 48, right? 40 is also possible for this. What else can we fill? Anything else? Acha, हाँ. So this 48 years will be F now. See, 48 years, it is from 1824 to 72. Now this cannot be G. So 1824 to 72, this will be that 48-year-old person, right? So this definitely, now G did not live for 43 years, right? So G lived for 40 years, and this person will live for 43 years. You will get 1866 and you will get 1859. Okay, yes, this will complete it. So he didn't live for 43 years means like his age is different from 43, right? It can be any other number apart from 43, right? So from this condition, like F will be 48 because 48, the 48-year-old person lived from 1824 to 1872. So F must be that person, right? And then G did not live for 43 years, so G will be obviously 40 and this will be 43. So this completes our table. Is it clear? Got the answers? How we found FG will be born in 1872. See, G died 30 years after E, right? So E we had found 1869, right? How we found E? E was born in 1819 and lived for more than 43 years. So we eliminated these cases, right? So we got E as this thing, right? E as 50 only was possible, right? 48 was not possible because this 48-year-old person lived from 18 48 years lived from 1824 to 72. So 48 was not possible. 57 was already taken, right? 44 we had found for D. So only possible value for E was 50. So E died in 1869. Now G died 30 years after E. So G died in 1899. Now that 48-year-old person died in 1872. So that cannot be G. So it will be F. So that is why we got this F. How 1824 to 72? So in the beginning it was said that C was born in 1880 and lived 11 years less than the one who died in 1872, right? So C lived for 37 years. So he lived 11 years less than. So that means the person living for 48 years died in 1872. So that 48-year-old died in 1872. That means he was born in 1824, right? So a good puzzle. I mean, you can try this again and solve it. You will be getting this table. Okay. So the key point, let's start with the name and put some ages, which was some direct data. Some of the pointers were given to us. Then this condition about about C, this condition helped us to kickstart the set, right? So A would be 2637 and C could also be 2637. So from that we took the possibility that if I put A equal to 37, the case is not possible. So A is 26, C is 37, and then one after the other connecting these statements, we were able to fill that, right? So who lived for 48 years? It was F who lived for 48 years. Okay. How long did G live, right? So G lived for 40 years. Okay, so this is the final solution. Okay, and this is the next question. How many of the given persons died before 1900? Okay, so count the number of people who died before 1900. A. Okay, then you have B, you have D, you have E, F, and G, right? So only C and H. H died in 1900 and C died after 1900. So you will have 6 people. Okay, there are 6 people. Who among the following was the first person to die, right? In terms of years, not age. Right, so it is saying the first person to die. The first person to die was, I think, B, 1866. Isn't it? So B was the first person to die. Okay. All right. So I have this Telegram group, right? If you want to join this group, you can just join this group, and I mean you can search on Telegram app TDude, right? So in case you have any queries, if you want to, if you want some questions to be solved, right, you can share with us, and we can take up those questions in the DILR marathon. Okay. All right. So now let's do some bar graph. Okay. So DI, but not that typical calculation wala DI. It is sort of logical DI. Okay, not that straightforward ki bar graph se value nikalo. So it says a coaching institute has 6 batches of students A through F. The bar graph shows the percentage of girls among the students during the years 2017 and 18. Okay. So here's the question. It says the number of students in batch D increased by 50% from 2017 to 18. The number of boys in batch D was what percent of the number of students in the batch in years 2017 and 2018 together? So percentage based questions, you can assume the values to be 100 and then calculate the results. It's just application of simple uh, like percentage things, right? If you understand percentages, you can easily solve these questions, right? Not a difficult thing for. It's just that they do not mention any numbers. They're talking only in terms of percentages. Okay. No one solved this yet. So how will we do this is, let us say in 2017 there were 100 students. So in 2018 there will be 150 students, correct? Now out of these 100, 40% are girls, right? So like in boys and girls, so 40 girls, 60 boys, and in 2018 there were 50% girls, so 75 girls and 75 boys, right? So what it says is the number of boys in batch D was what percent of the number of students in the batch in the years 2017 and 18 together. So total there are 135 boys in these 2 years together out of 250, right? So your answer is 135 by 250. That is 54%. Okay, whenever you have percentage based questions, ratio based questions asking percentage or ratio, you can take any calculation friendly value. Okay, if the number of students in each of the batches in 2018 was 180, which of the following statements is correct? So you have to consider that the number of students in each of the batches in 2018 was 180. So you have to find that which of the following statements is correct. we'll see that how to answer this question. I mean, of course, you calculate it and then I'll tell you how to answer it. What are the best practices to answer questions? I mean, this particular question. So anyone got the answer to this? Okay, Shantanu says C. All right. So see, if you see the first three statements, right, it talks about average number of girls, percentage of boys, more girls, right? So it has to be, I mean, you have to find the number of boys or girls to get the answer to these three questions, right? These three statements you can answer using that. And fourth statement talks about something different, right? So let us try to find this value so that we can find that whether one of these is true or not, right? Something would be true. Okay, so see, instead of calculating the number of girls separately, right, what you do is people generally calculate the number of girls, right? Do this now, 50%, 70%, 60%, 50%, 40%, 30%. Add all these 120, 180, 250, 300, 300% of 300% of what? 180. ठीक है, मतलब 540 गर्ल्स हो गई और टोटल कितने हैं 6 हैं तो 540 बॉयज भी हो जाएंगे, राइट? जस्ट सिंपल कैलकुलेशन, राइट? डू नॉट कैलकुलेट सेपरेटली, ऐड देम टोटल एंड गेट द आंसर, राइट? व्हाई डू यू कैलकुलेट सेपरेटली कि ए में कितनी गर्ल्स थी, बी में कितनी गर्ल्स थी? ऐड दीज परसेंटेजेस एंड गेट दिस, राइट? सो अभी देखो ये 89 गलत हो गया, ये गलत हो गया बिकॉज दे आर इक्वल, सो ऑब्वियसली दिस विल बी द आंसर. तीन स्टेटमेंट गलत हो गए तो फोर्थ विल ऑब्वियसली बी द आंसर, राइट? Why do you check for the statement 4? I mean, of course, it should be the correct thing, right? Unlike जैसे वो question में गलती हो गई थी. Let us see कि सही है कि नहीं, देख लेते हैं. कभी-कभी questions गलत भी हो जाते हैं, right? In examination, it should not happen. At least in CAT, it won't happen, right? Trust me that for the past like 5, 6, 7 years, CAT has been error-free. No error in CAT. राइट? बट इन अदर एग्जामिनेशंस यू विल फाइंड एरर्स. और एग्जाम्स में रिस्क मत लेना, बट कैट में यू कैन टेक दिस रिस्क कि तीन ऑप्शन गलत है, ऑटोमेटिकली फोर्थ विल बी राइट. इवन इफ इट इज रॉन्ग यू वुड गेट ग्रेस मार्क्स फॉर इट, राइट? सो नो नीड टू कैलकुलेट, लाइक ऐसे ऐसे एक एक करके क्यों चेक करना है, राइट? सो जस्ट ऐड दीज परसेंटेजेस, गेट दिस वैल्यू, isn't it? So 540 आ गई, 1080 students हैं तो 540 boys भी हो गए. So obviously all these will become wrong because boys and girls are equal, 50% 50% है, so that will be correct. I mean, अगर जिसको अभी भी मन नहीं कर रहा है कि they want to check कि that should be correct. Number of boys and girls in any of the batches was 72, so this में हो जाएगा ना 30% girls हैं, 40% boys हैं, नहीं 70% boys हैं, so 40% difference आ गया. 40% means 72, so automatically सही हो गया, right? If that was option A, you would have got in the first instance itself, but you started from 1, 2, 3. Okay, so next question. If in 2017 the number of girls in each of the batches was equal, the number of boys in 2017 was what percent more than the number of girls in 2017? Now this is going to be a calculation intensive one. How? If you practice questions, you will understand why. Okay, so Anu, watch that part, right? So what we did was we added these percentages, right? And we got the total as 300%, right? So if you add these values, you get 300%, right? So 300% was 540. So 540 girls, 540 boys. I mean, or you can just, I mean, if you do not want to even take the 300%, you can see the average is 50%, right? So boys and girls are equal. So first three statements were wrong. Fourth would be correct. Yes, Aditya, you can start, right? There is no such time that you cannot start, right? But the thing is, you will have to put in a lot of efforts, and I mean, it's already late. I'm not saying that you won't be able to do it, right? But yes, just for your reminder that like you should have your realistic expectations, and you will have to put in a lot of efforts if you start from now. Okay, anyway, you can start, right? People can start in August, September also, right? Okay, so now how will we do this question? In 2017, number of girls in each of the batches was equal, right? So 40, 60, right? 50, 40, 60, 40, right? So 40%, 50%, 60% are the numbers given to you, right? So what we will do? कैसे करेंगे? Yes, take the ratio and do it. Take the ratio and do it and find the answer. Yes, you can take LCM also. All right, ratio is mentioned. Yes, you can take that. Okay, so what we will do, like, like you can take this 40, 40, 40, right? So this will give you, let us say the number of girls is X, right? So you will get 2.5X, 2.5 times, 2.5 times. Okay, and this will be 50% and 50% will be mean 2X and this will mean 1.66X. Right, this is what the total number of the total number of students. Okay, suppose X is the number of girls in each of the institutes, in each of the batches, so this will be 2.5X, 1.66X, 2X, 2.5, 2.5 this, right? So we'll get 7.5, 7.5 and 9.5 and 3.33, so 12.83, right? 12.83 is total, right? X 6X is girls, right? So 6.83 is boys, right? So that is 0.83 more, 0.83 by 6, that will be 0.14. 14% से थोड़ा सा कम होगा, right? 14% से थोड़ा सा कम, that will be 13.89%. वेरी क्लोज टू 14%, जस्ट लेस होगा 13.89% आंसर आ जाएगा. इज इट क्लियर हाउ वी डिड इट? Okay, so simple, like some percentages, if you know the reciprocals, etc., it becomes easy, right? So if it is 40%, right? Suppose the number of girls is X, right? 40% of X, for the ones who do not know how we did it, you feel that this is magical. No, this is not magical, right? Is total number of students. What is T? T will be 100, right? So 100 by 40, that is 2.5x, right? And then it is 1.66x, right? So this is how we will do it. अच्छा sorry, यहाँ पे ऐसे नहीं आएगा. 40% of t will be equal to x. For the ones who think that I've done some magic, so this is how we get this. Okay, so see, first of all, let us say और सारे में girls के number x x x x x है, ठीक है? All have equal number of girls, ठीक है? All have equal number of girls. So first of all, अगर आप batch A की बात करो, so 40% of total is x. So x will be, I mean total will be 2.5x. ऐसे इसमें 1.66 आ जाएगा. 100 by 60, 100 by 50, 100 by 40, 100 by 60, 100 by 40. ठीक है, आ गया. इन सबको ऐड कर दो, कितना आ जाएगा? 12.83, right? 12, ये क्या था? 1.666, right? So if you add 33.33, you will get 12.8333, right? So this is girls. Boys हो गए 6.83, right? Boys is how much more? 0.83 more. 0.83 by 6, that is 0.14. So 14 से just small, right? Slightly less than 14, right? So that is 13.89%. Okay, 12.22 is way too less, right? अब आपको करना नहीं, 13.89 आएगा, कितना आएगा, right? So that will be the answer. So if you divide, you will get like this only, 13.8888. Clear? समझ में आया? Okay, so some smart ways to do things, isn't it? थोड़ा परसेंटेजेस वगैरह अच्छे कॉन्सेप्ट बना लो, because like see these kind of things, logical DI. Now more than 95% of the people will fail to solve these questions, although these are not difficult, right? But people do not have understanding of percentages. Okay, all right. In 2018, the number of students in batch E was 40% more than the number of students in batch F. Okay, and which of the following can be the difference between the total number of boys and girls in the two batches together in 2018? So how will we do this? गर्ल्स नंबर 6 कैसे आया? अरे हर में एक एक है ना, x x x x x x, तो 6x आ जाएगा. Add this, 6x नहीं आ जाएगा, सब में हमने इक्वल दिया है, तो x x x we assumed. अच्छा, so see, let us see this. So f को मान लो 100, ठीक है? f को 100 मान लिया. तो गर्ल्स कितनी हो गई? 30 हो गई. 2018 की बात कर रहा है ना, तो गर्ल्स 30 हो गए, बॉयज 70% हो गए, ठीक है? ई में कितने हो जाएंगे? 140 हो जाएंगे, and this is 40%, so girls will be 56 and this will be 84, ठीक है? And which of the following can be the difference between the total number of boys and girls? So this is 154 and this is 86, right? So the difference is 68, right? It should be some multiple of 68, right? Now see this, 68 से क्या हो सकता है, right? If I take like, see, I took the total as 100x, right? So 68x इनमें से क्या बन सकता है? 51 if I take, so x I will get 3 by 4, right? But the number of girls will not be an integer. ठीक है? If I take 51, the number of girls will not be an integer. ठीक है? 85 लूंगा, number of this will not be an integer. 102 लूंगा, so all will be integers, right? 132 इसके divisible ही नहीं होता. 102 will be your answer. समझ में आया? 132 नहीं होगा ना? I mean, if you take 132, you will not get an integer. 68, if you divide, so x you will get in some 132 by 68, right? Integer value थोड़ी आ रही है. I mean, you divide, that is 17, and this is what? 33 by 17. अब इनसे multiply करोगे, will you get an integer value? No. But in this case, you will get 1.5, right? X will be 1.5. So 1.5 से इनमें से किसी को भी multiply करोगे, all will be integers. Okay, so a good question. So see, I assume the total number to be 100x, 140x, right? 100x, 140x. So ये numbers आ जाएंगे, number of boys, number of girls ही आ जाएंगी. Total number of boys ही आ जाएंगे, total number of girls ही आ जाएंगी. Difference कितना है? What is asking? 68x, right? So what could be the possible value of 68x? It is saying, if I put 68x is equal to 51, I will get x as 0.75. Now if I put 0.75, this will be non-integer. So remember, the number of boys, girls, I mean the number of people always should be integer. जब भी कोई DI solve करते हो, लोग क्या करेंगे? 51 देखेंगे. Okay, so say that 51 is this, so that number is possible as 51, right? So ये देखेंगे, हाँ, check for all the values. So that should be some integer value. You will not get that. If you take this, you will get 1.25. Again, you will not get an integer value. If you take x is equal to 1.5, x is equal to 1.5 रख लो, सारी values integer आ जाएंगी. So that is the only possible value among the options. Okay. All right. So some set like graph given, but it was more of logic, understanding of percentages, understanding of numbers, right? So these are the basics that you need to do well for DI, right? If you understand percentages when all, these kind of sets can be done. Okay, so if you are enjoying the questions, please don't forget to like the session, right, and subscribe to our channel, and please do join these sessions every Sunday, right? So we learn new things, right? Question specific learnings होती हैं. कई बार ऐसा होता है कि एक कोई ट्रिक ऐसा नहीं होता, लोग बोलते हैं कि ट्रिक बता दो. There is nothing like some specific trick, right? But as per question, right, I tell you the logic, how to tackle things, right? And I'm sure you must be enjoying those things, right? जैसे आज हमने देखा कि वो जो 3 ऑप्शन गलत थे, चौथा सही निकाल दिया, right? We took just the average and I mean we just took added the percentages and got the result. Okay, all right. So this is the heavy weight for the day then. ठीक है, अगर अभी तक heavy हो रहे थे, so now this is the heaviest of them. ठीक है, आज का सबसे भारी सेट you can कह सकते हो. Okay, so it says that 3 houses of a school, Ashok, Vivek and Gandhi, competed in a quiz. The 3 houses participated in a series of rounds. Points were awarded for first, second and third place in each round. They were A, B and C respectively, with A greater than B greater than C greater than 0. Okay, so the house which came first, like it is like games and tournaments, ठीक है, scoring वाला, ठीक है, and like the first person team got A points, second got B, third got C, distinct numbers greater than 0. Okay, all values are integers. ठीक है. Okay, so Aniket, every Sunday 9 p.m. We have this session. Okay. हाँ, आज एक वो सेट मैंने, मतलब वो I think I only had created that set, right, sometime back here, but वही हो सकता है मैंने इंस्ट्रक्शन गलत दे दिए होंगे, right, लिखने में, and I thought that like I would be able to solve it, so वो इंस्ट्रक्शन गलत था. बाकी I mean the sets are really good, right? आज थोड़ा भारी भरकम हो रहे हैं, right? So someone was asking, some guy messaged me, आज hot वाले question नहीं है. So as per the season we keep changing the name of the series. ठीक है, लास्ट मंथ होता था हॉट समर, हाई ऑर्डर थिंकिंग समर. नाउ लाइक द सीरीज हैज बीन चेंज टू ट्रेन योर ब्रेन इन द रेन. ओके, सो इट इज रेनिंग सीजन, राइट. सो रेनी सीजन आ गया तो फिर अब हॉट को हटा के हमने ट्रेन योर ब्रेन इन द रेन कर दिया. ठीक है, सो चलेगी मैराथन, राइट. वी विल कंटिन्यू इट एंड आई होप यू आर एंजॉयिंग these sessions, right, and do attend these sessions. This will definitely, see what will happen is, even if you are not able to solve questions, right, and when you are exposed to some quality questions, you learn some techniques, you develop that thinking ability, right. अब जैसे किसी ने वो बार ग्राफ देखा, राइट, अब देखा कि क्या कहते हैं इंडिविजुअल निकालने के अच्छा आप सीधे परसेंटेजेस ऐड कर देते हैं 50 60 दोस काइंड ऑफ थिंग, you could directly get the number of girls, right. Okay, now this is a difficult one. Okay, so it says that there is a quiz. Okay, okay, so let me ask you कि कैसे टैकल करेंगे. I want to see your problem solving ability. ठीक है, इसमें क्या दिया है कि we are given one house, so there are 3 houses competing. So one scored 32 points, second scored 11 points, third scored 17 points. ठीक है, nothing else is given कि a की वैल्यू क्या है, and they have given ask you the value of a. So what will be the first thing that comes to your mind? इसे कैसे solve करेंगे? Last time I gave you a question and it was surprising that people were not able to solve it, right? So that question which I discussed in the beginning. Okay, let me get your thinking ability, right? What do you get from this? How will we solve this? ये कह रहा है कि क्या कहते हैं इसमें कुछ क्विज हुए, राइट, एंड ईच राउंड देयर वर A, B and C points given to the teams and all points are in integers. Okay, and just this is given that Ashok house got 32 points, Gandhi house get 11 points, they won one of the rounds, right, and Vivek house finished with 17 points. Now what can you figure out from this data? क्या पता चलेगा इससे? Think, right? So these are the sets that make you think. अभी एग्जाम में ऐसे सेट आते हैं, people are blank, they will say कि डेटा ही नहीं दिया है, but yes, they have given data. Okay, they have given enough data to solve this question. Short and sweet passage, ठीक है, जिसको पढ़ने में ज्यादा मजा नहीं आता, लंबे टेक्स्ट नहीं पढ़ने होते हैं, छोटा टेक्स्ट है but very heavy, and we'll learn how to think in this. Yes, of course you will make combinations of A, B and C, but how randomly आप बनाते थोड़ी रहोगे? You cannot make randomly, right? Think of something. Let's try to narrow it down. A1 many rounds. Okay, A1 many rounds, that is fine. Something else. Try to figure out something else. Yes, Shantanu, you got the catch that only thing we know is points, right? टोटल पॉइंट्स कर लो. टोटल पॉइंट्स कितने हो गए? 60. टोटल पॉइंट्स है 60. Okay, yes, G won one of the rounds, that is given to you. टोटल पॉइंट्स है 60. अब नेक्स्ट चीज सोचो कि क्या करोगे. See, it will get it. See, if you randomly assign points, you will get too many cases. पूरा पेपर बीत जाएगा, नहीं बना पाओगे. Suppose you have to solve this in 15 minutes. चलो 10 minutes तो बहुत कम कह दे रहा हूँ. 15 minutes के अंदर भी अगर solve कर लोगे इसे, how will you think logically in this direction? So total points बहुत सही, आपने बताया 60 points है. Now think the next step. This is a very beautiful set, right? I created it yesterday. Okay, so अगर ये वैसे ही क्लास में होता, कहीं फिजिकल क्लास में, so I would like कि मतलब I would have said कि तालियां बजते रहनी चाहिए, वैसा वाला सेट है. You will enjoy this. 3 equation for each house. Yes, Mahima is also giving one correct thing, that there are more than half points for A. Okay. अच्छा, we know कि total point 60 है. Can you think of some things? 3 equation for each house. Equation कैसे बनाओगे house की? 11 in cases. Difficult हो जाएगा. 11 के cases कैसे कैसे बनाओगे? So one I got this is that one I got a good point is Ashok got more than half of the points. ठीक है? So we will use that later. अब देखो combinations बनाने बैठोगे बहुत combinations बनेंगे. Let us think logically. Yes, figure out the number of points in one round, right? Now how to figure it out? देखो हर राउंड में सेम पॉइंट्स मिल रहे हैं ना. विनर को A मिल रहे हैं, सेकंड वाले को B मिल रहे हैं, थर्ड वाले को C मिल रहे हैं. So the total is A plus B plus C, right? For every round the winner is getting A points, so A plus B plus C should be a factor of 60, right? A is not a factor of 60. A plus B plus C, total rounds must be a factor of 60. समझ रहे हो? Total points in a round should be a factor of 60. ठीक है? एक चीज ये हो गई. ठीक है? One thing is this. So at least you figured out after some hints कि A plus B plus C will be a factor of 60. समझ में आया क्यों करेंगे? That will be the starting point. अगर ये नहीं सोचोगे, I mean solve करते समय, so you will never be able to do it, right? 1 घंटा लग जाएगा बनाते बनाते, right? But if you click this thing that each round has equal points, right? Each round has equal points, so this should be some factor of 60, right? So that will give you something closeness. ठीक है? अच्छा, अब next thinking which I mean who mentioned that? Mahima, right? Mahima, you got the right thing that Ashok House finished with 32 points, right? Ashok House finished with 32 points. In one of the rounds it did not win. ठीक है? Ashok House एक round नहीं जीता क्योंकि गांधी won that round. So minimum one round is there where Ashok is not winning, right? There may be multiple rounds also, but Ashok is not winning in all the rounds. So इसका मतलब क्या है कि A should be more than half of A plus B plus C. ठीक है? A की वैल्यू जो है हाफ से ज्यादा होनी चाहिए, तभी वो 32 पॉइंट्स बना रहा है ना. 60 में से 32 बना रहा है. अगर वो सारे भी जीतेगा, if the winner is not getting at least half of the points, it cannot have more than half of the points. समझ में आया? That A will be more than half of total points of a round. क्यों होगा? क्योंकि अगर सपोज लेट अस से एक एग्जांपल लेते हैं कि सपोज एक राउंड में 10 पॉइंट्स हैं. ठीक है? मान लो मैंने दिए 5 4 1, राइट? अगर मैं 6 राउंड्स भी कर दूंगा तो 60 में से इसके 30 पॉइंट्स ही बनेंगे. सो दिस मींस दैट A शुड बी मोर देन हाफ, तभी वो टोटल में हाफ से ज्यादा पॉइंट ला रहा है, right? Even if that is winning all round, right, it will not get more than half of the points of the total. So that means the winner team is getting more than half of the points. ठीक है? अच्छा, अब केस बनाते हैं. ठीक है? अब देखो 60 के फैक्टर्स क्या होते हैं. रिमेंबर वन थिंग इन गेम्स एंड टूर्नामेंट्स और नंबर बेस्ड रीजनिंग, ऑलवेज ट्राई टू पुट एक्सट्रीम्स, उससे आप एलिमिनेट कर सकते हो. ठीक है? अच्छा, अब मैं करता हूं पॉइंट, that is A plus B plus C और राउंड. ठीक है? अब कोई रीजनेबल नंबर रखते हैं. ऐसा नहीं कि आपने बोल दिया कि 15 राउंड हो जाएंगे 4-4. देखो अब मिनिमम पॉइंट्स कितने होंगे. मिनिमम वैल्यू ऑफ A plus B plus C कितना होगा. C की मिनिमम वैल्यू 1 हो सकती है, B की 2 हो सकती है, A की 3 हो सकती है. ठीक है? सो मिनिमम वैल्यू ऑफ ABC विल बी 6. ठीक है? और मैक्सिमम कितनी भी हो सकती है. ठीक है? अब देखो 2 राउंड तो होंगे नहीं, सो 6 and 10. ठीक है? उसके ऊपर क्या फैक्टर आता है, 10 and 6, 12 and 5, 15 and 4, 20 and 3. अब ये थोड़ा एक्सट्रीम जा रहा है. ठीक है? वी आर गोइंग एक्सट्रीम्स. ठीक है? इतने एक्सट्रीम में मत जाओ. लिमिट योरसेल्फ टू सर्टेन नंबर्स। क्यों? अगर आप 20 रख दोगे एक पॉइंट में, राइट, सो अगर ये एक पॉइंट जीता गांधी हाउस वन ऑफ द गेम्स, राइट, अगर आप यहाँ पे गांधी को 20 में से हाफ से ज्यादा पॉइंट मिलने चाहिए तो मिनिमम 11 मिलेगा, तो एक ही राउंड में 11 पॉइंट्स हो जाएंगे। सो यू कैन नॉट गो बियॉन्ड दिस, सो वी विल रेस्ट्रिक्ट अवर सेल्फ टू दिस थिंग, राइट, वी विल रेस्ट्रिक्ट अवर थिंग टू this thing a plus b plus c. Acha, if a plus b plus c we are putting 6, we are getting a equal to 3 which is not more than half, right? So ये भी possible नहीं होगा, ठीक है, ये भी एक extreme case पे चला गया, isn't it? See, this is how you think fast, right, and then solve it fast. Okay, so अगर मैं 6 रखूंगा, so remember this thing also. So यहाँ पे आपको multiple logic लगाने हैं, पहला ये figure out करना है, ठीक है, that I mean many of you could have figured out, फिर ये चीज फिगर आउट करनी है, ठीक है, फिर ये चीज फिगर आउट करनी है। अगर ये सोच लिया that will be something that you are in some great league, right, जो 99.9 प्लस परसेंटाइलर वाली लीग होती है, इतना सोच लोगे तो that means that you have very great thinking ability. Okay, all right, so now this thing 6 का 6 पॉसिबल नहीं है क्योंकि A3 बन सकता है ना। सो व्हाट वी डिस्कस दैट A शुड बी ग्रेटर देन हाफ ऑफ द पॉइंट्स। चलो A6 ले लेते हैं, तो अगर ये 10 के 10 राउंड भी जीतेगा, 10 के 10 राउंड भी जीतेगा तो 30 पॉइंट्स ही बना पाएगा। इफ इट विंस 10 राउंड्स इट कैन मेक ओनली 30 पॉइंट्स, ठीक है। अच्छा, अब एक काम करते हैं, 15 भी थोड़ा एक्सट्रीम लग रहा है, राइट, व्हाई 15 इज एक्सट्रीम? अगर मैं 15 रखता हूं, सो मे बी 15 का कुड बी एक्सट्रीम, कुड नॉट बी एक्सट्रीम, ठीक है। 15 में मैं 8 रख दूंगा इसके पॉइंट्स, तो 8 8 8 8 तब जाके 32 बनेंगे, ठीक है। इफ आई पुट 8 8 8 8 दिस विल बिकम 32, बट वन ऑफ द राउंड्स इज वन बाय गांधी हाउस, ठीक है, वन ऑफ द राउंड्स इज वन बाय गांधी हाउस, ठीक है। तो अगर मैं 9 रखता हूं, सपोज आई विन लाइक 9 9 9, अब केसेस बनेंगे बहुत सारे केसेस बनेंगे, लेट अस सी दिस। 15 भी एक्सट्रीम में लग रहा है, बट वी विल ट्राई टू एलिमिनेट इट लॉजिकली। अगर मैं चारों में 8 8 रखता हूं तब इसके 32 बनेंगे। अगर मैं विनर को 9 पॉइंट्स देता हूं तो 9 3 27 और 5 तब 32 बनेंगे। बट अगर ये 11 पॉइंट बना रहा है तो एक राउंड में तो 9 इसने अलग अकेले ही बना दिए। इवन इफ इट इज गेटिंग 1 1 इट विल मेक 12 पॉइंट्स, सो 9 9 इज नॉट पॉसिबल। फिर 10 बड़ी वैल्यूज तो पॉसिबल ही नहीं होंगी। इज दैट क्लियर कि हमने 15, देखो देखने से जो चीज एक्सट्रीम लगती है एक बार चेक कर लो, 20 तो क्लियरली नहीं था, 15 ऑल्सो वॉज लुकिंग अ बिग नंबर, राइट, एंड वी एलिमिनेटेड द पॉसिबिलिटी, ठीक है। अब या तो 10 पॉइंट्स का राउंड होगा या 12 पॉइंट्स का राउंड होगा, दोनों में केस बनाने पड़ेंगे, ठीक है। सो डेफिनेटली नॉट अ 15 मिनट क्वेश्चन ऑल्सो, 20 मिनट लग जाएंगे सोचने में और करने में, ठीक है, बट इट्स अ रियली गुड क्वेश्चन। But if you have great thinking ability, you can complete within 15 minutes also, right? You need a very good logical thinking ability to tackle this and good understanding of numbers, right? So numbers की थोड़ी properties अच्छे से पता होना चाहिए। Such kind of questions come in CAT and then people are bluffed, right? They think that okay क्या हो गया, कैसे होगा, right? And this can be done this way, right? All right. So now अब ये try करते हैं, ठीक है, 10 और 6, राइट, 10 और 6 और 12 और 5, ठीक है। 15 भी बहुत एक्सट्रीम लग रहा था। 10 के लिए क्या होगा, a की वैल्यू 6 हो सकती है, 631 बन सकता है, ठीक है, और क्या बन सकता है, 631 ही बनेगा, ओके, नो अदर वैल्यू इज पॉसिबल, ठीक है। 622 नहीं ले सकते क्योंकि ऑल वैल्यूज आर डिस्टिंक्ट, ठीक है। इसको अगर मैं 5 राउंड जिता भी दूंगा तो 30 बन पाएंगे, राइट, 5 राउंड जिता दूंगा 30 बन पाएंगे, राइट। सो नाउ छठे राउंड में 33 या 31 बनेगा, सो 6 वाले से पॉसिबल नहीं है। इफ आई पुट a इक्वल टू 7, तो 5 राउंड में ही इसके, ओके चलो सपोज मैं कह रहा हूं कि इसके 5 राउंड नहीं जीते, ठीक है, तो 7 2 1 बनेगा इसमें। अगर मैं इसे 7 पॉइंट्स देता हूं और मिनिमम 1 पॉइंट भी देता हूं 5 राउंड में, इसके 12 बन जाएंगे। सो आई कैन नॉट पुट 7 इन दिस केस। ये चीज समझ में आ रही है, ये हमने लिया, दिस वाज अ वेरी बिग फैक्टर इन डिटरमाइनिंग दीज केसेस। 7 भी नहीं बन पाएंगे, सो दिस केस आल्सो गेट्स एलिमिनेटेड, ओके। Yes, you can put options. I mean, you can try using that, but again, that would be a difficult thing, right? How will you find this? How many rounds? Do you know that? Suppose, I mean, theta question होता या कुछ और question होता, right? You can try with options. Maybe you would be able to do that. But I'm giving you the logical structure to solve this question. Okay. Now 12 points. ठीक है? 12 points if I say, so minimum 7 होना चाहिए. A should be greater than half of this, right? 7 हो सकता है, 8 हो सकता है, right? 9 भी हो सकता है, right? Extreme case में, ठीक है? If I take 9, 9 2 1 अगर मैं लेता हूं तो इसके 5 राउंड्स में मिनिमम 13 बन जाएंगे, ठीक है? सो 9 नहीं होगा. If I take 8 3 1, इसके 5 राउंड्स में मिनिमम 12 बन जाएंगे थर्ड वाले पर्सन के. Okay, so that is also not possible. So बचेगा 7. Okay, 7 will be the only possibility. ठीक है? अब इसके 7 7 7 7 और 4 कर लो. I mean that you will get as the combination. ठीक है? और इसका हो जाएगा 1 1 1 1 7 और इसका 1. So you will get 32, 17 and 11. Okay, so find this value. You will get this as the value. Okay. So some heavy set, right? So Subhanshu, like in my opinion, there is no best book, I would say, right? However, there are certain books, right, which you can refer to, like Nishit Sena, right? That is I mean something fine, but you do not have any latest, like, as per, you won't get these kind of good sets in any of these books, right? Okay, interesting set, isn't it? Got this? Understood कि कैसे हमने केस निकाले, and finally it will be 7 4 1. That will satisfy this thing. You could have put options also and done it. Right, so Subhanshu, this is our I mean, this is our help desk number. You can ask for the fees and all. So we have different subscription plans, like 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, right? You can check accordingly, and currently we are running one sale also. You can avail that discount. How much time I created? Acha, so creation of sets is it does not take much time, right? Because you just randomly put some numbers. Okay, I mean, see, creation, लॉजिकल रीजनिंग में टाइम लगता है क्रिएशन में, क्योंकि स्टेटमेंट्स भी सोचने पड़ते हैं, ठीक है? ओके, सो लॉजिकल रीजनिंग यू विल हैव टू थिंक ऑफ स्टेटमेंट्स आल्सो. बहुत टाइम लगता है बनाने में, बट दीज थिंग्स, आई मीन, यू कैन जस्ट पुट रैंडम सम नंबर्स एंड देन ट्राई इट, राइट? और फिर उसके बाद लॉजिक सोचने में टाइम लगता है, ठीक है? आई जस्ट पुट नंबर्स, आई जस्ट क्रिएटेड दीज नंबर्स एंड देन गॉट इट. ओके, all right, so enjoyed this set, right? Acha, so value of A is 7, right? So this is something that if it comes short and sweet, लोगों को लगता है छोटा सा set है, but this will just, I mean, drain up something. Like it takes a lot of toll in the examination, ठीक है? अच्छी खासी लग जाती है solve करने में. Okay, now what we will get, that this they won in one of the rounds, right? So that round was named rapid fire round. So I have named this round rapid fire. Okay, so this person won in the rapid fire round, and other, I mean, not person, the houses, and these are the points. Okay, so in how many rounds Ashok house finished first? So Ashok house will finish first in 4 of the rounds. Okay, it finished first in 4 of the rounds. Yes, okay, this I created yesterday. Okay, just I was writing some numbers, random numbers. I thought कि कुछ बनाते हैं ऐसे, कुछ स्कोरिंग टाइप का बन गया सी सेट, राइट? Then conditions, you just had to give 3 conditions, right? Simple conditions. Okay, if one of the rounds was a buzzer round, who finished third in that round? Now how will we answer this question? See, एक round rapid fire का दिया है, ठीक है? One round we are given for rapid fire, others will be like buzz around इनमें से कोई भी हो सकता है. So irrespective of whichever is that round, in all rounds we have the same result, all other rounds, right? So in every round Gandhi House finished third in that, right? So the answer is Gandhi. Yeah, I'll share in that. Acha, someone was asking also in that group, so I'll share in that group, right? So that group name is Aptitude, right? So join that group and I'll share that. I'll have to share the previous ones also. Okay, I'll share these PDFs with you. Okay. Acha, which of the following statements is correct? I mean, now you know this table, you can answer this question. So rapid fire, they've named the round rapid fire, right? So that is a different round. I mean, they've given the names to the round. So one of the rounds is named as rapid fire round. Okay, this is a separate round which they are talking about. Okay, so in this, like only fourth one is correct, which says Ashok House did not come third in any of the rounds. So either they were first or they came second. Okay. Okay, so enjoying this set, right? Especially this set would have been the killer set of the day, right? So someone was saying that aaj ke set already heavy hai, right? So this was the heaviest, right? If others were heavy, this was like very heavy, right? So please don't forget to like the sessions, right? And do join these sessions on a regular basis. That will definitely going to help you, right? And like you will develop thinking over some period of time. You will be able to tackle different sort of sets. Okay, so this is my Telegram channel with the name Aptitude, right? So this is the image also, and you can search on Telegram and join it, and I'll be sharing these things. Okay. All right, so now this is a light set. So it was going heavy, so this is a light set. Okay, let us do this question. So there are 10 people, they sit on 11 chairs arranged in a line, and something is given that, right? And like certain things are given about these people. Okay, and you have to arrange it. This is an easy one. So there are 10 friends, they are sitting on 11 chairs, so one chair is vacant. And there are certain sets in the examination. Whenever you get 8 sets, there are certain sets that can be done in like 5-6 minutes also. Okay, so this year also, I mean, one of the sets which I did, which took me very less time, was that 4-set Venn diagram. Okay, so if you know things, like certain things are conceptual, right? So Venn diagram is a conceptual thing, right? In games and tournaments, certain kind of questions are conceptual. Okay, however, certain topics are, I mean, that is, you have to, I mean, think on the spot and do it. Not all, I mean, some of them, yes, I create some of the sets, and some of the sets which you taught that they were taught in class. So I've like they are in Gradeup's database also. So I had created some sets. क्लास में भी जो कराता हूँ कई बार खुद के बनाए हुए सेट्स होते हैं, right? And I mean some of them are in Gradeup's database also, which you might find in sometimes in mock test, right? या फिर classes में भी जो you will find these sets. Okay, so let's answer this. ये आसान है, इतना difficult नहीं है, right? So what does it say that like there are 11 chairs, right? And see how will we start it? बहुत आसान सा link है, H and G, H and E, ठीक है? 4 chairs between H and E, 4 chairs between H and G. तो 8 चेयर हो गई, 9वां H हो जाएगा E और G. So E और G, right, will be extremes. बहुत आसान सा है सेट, ठीक है? 4 this side, 4 this side, ओके? और यहाँ पे H और G और E में से एक कोई आएगा. Now see this. It says J sits on the right of both G and F, right? So G के right में, so G will be here and E will be here. ठीक है? So G will be here, E will be here. Clear? Because there are 4 seats in between these 4 seats here also. ठीक है? So that will get. Okay, so now we have the empty chair lies somewhere to the right hand side of D, who happens to be the 4th person towards the right of I. Okay, and J is the only person between H and D. Okay, so J is the only person between H and D. Okay, so J is the only person between H and D, and so it is saying that, so J can be here, right? Either you can have J here, or you can have J sits to the right of both G and F and is the only person who sits between H and D. So you can have H and D and you can have J here. Okay. Acha, one more thing that is given to you is that the empty chair lies somewhere on the right hand side of D, who happens to the 4th person to the right of I. So D will be on the right hand side of H. ठीक है? D यहाँ नहीं हो सकता. D will be on the right hand side of H. First of all, we connected these two and we found the positions of G, H and E. Correct? Now the empty chair lies somewhere on the right hand side of D. So who happens to be the 4th person towards the right of I? So I can come in these 4 positions and D has to come this side of. So D will be on this side of H and I will be on this side of H. Okay, and the empty chair is to the right hand side of D, somewhere to the right hand side. Okay, D के right hand side में ही empty होगी. Empty will come after D. ठीक है? Now what it is saying that G is the only person between H and D. So इन दोनों के बीच में empty तो हो नहीं सकती. So D will be here and J will be here. So empty इन दोनों में से एक हो सकती है. बीच में empty chair नहीं आएगी. Empty chair is to the right hand side of, empty chair lies to the right hand side of D. ठीक है? अब I की position आ जाएगी. D is to the 4th person to the right of I. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is I. Okay, this is I. Now these two could be empty. And what else is left? कितने चीजें बची हैं? 5 persons sit between B and F, and there are 4 chairs. अच्छा, 5 persons between B and F, right? Okay. अगर मैं यहाँ पे B रखता हूँ 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, यहाँ पे नहीं आ सकता, right? I cannot put B here or F here, right? For any one person, I cannot put anyone here. Okay. I mean, I'll have to put F here because J is on the right of F. So F has to be one of these positions. I cannot put F here because if I put F here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, B cannot be here, right? If I put F here, what will happen? There are 5 persons sitting between B and F. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Then B could be here, B could be here. B could be any of these positions. If I put F here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So F तो यहाँ आ नहीं सकता. So F will be definitely here. Now B could be here or B could be here. So we will get 2 cases, right? So we will have F here for sure and B could be here or here. So either it is empty, right, or this is the empty chair. Is it clear? और दो लोग बच गए, A and B, C. A और C बच गए. So A और C will come on these two positions. ठीक है, not that difficult. अब वो ऐसा हो सकता है कि ये 2 घंटे से क्वेश्चंस कर रहे हो, थक गए होगे. इससे पहला वाला क्वेश्चन बहुत हैवी था, बट दिस इज डेफिनेटली, ट्रस्ट मी, इट इज नॉट डिफिकल्ट, क्योंकि यू कैन इजीली प्लेस G, H and E. ठीक है, देन यू कुड इजीली प्लेस D बिकॉज ऑफ ऑन दीज साइड्स. बहुत सारे स्टेटमेंट्स नहीं है, 4 ही स्टेटमेंट है. ये तो फालतू सा स्टेटमेंट है, 4 स्टेटमेंट थे, उसमें से H आपने आसानी से प्लेस कर दिया. D was also you could place easily. Okay, so is it clear? I mean, is the arrangement clear? बहुत difficult arrangement नहीं है, right? If you see it once again, you will be able to get it. So just quickly retelling it. So H is the central person. Now G is on the left because J is on the right of G, right? So G here, E here. Then we placed D because D is on this side of there. D is 4 to the right of I, right? So D cannot be on this side. So D will be on right side of H. Now there is one person between, I mean J is between H and D, and the empty seat is to the right of D. So that is why J and D we will fix. So J, D also fix हो गए, I भी fix हो गया, right? Then there was condition given for F and B, that there are 5 persons between F and B. I cannot put F here, I cannot put F here, so F will be here. So from this I will get 2 possible positions of B. So 2 केस बनेंगे, एक में या तो B यहाँ पे आएगा या B यहाँ पे आएगा. That will accordingly give you the empty seat, right? So how many friends sit on the left hand side of F? So F is this person, so there are 2 persons on the left hand side. Okay, all right, next question. Okay, so इसके बाद this, who among the following can never sit on a chair adjacent to C's chair? Who among the following cannot be adjacent to C's chair? So adjacent of C's chair, so C can be here, right? So G could be there, F could be here, right? It could be I or H, right? But it can never be D because D is here, right? So D cannot be adjacent to C. Okay, so any of the case D cannot be adjacent to C. If exactly 6 chairs happen to be there between C and B, then who among the following is an immediate neighbor of A? So there are 6 chairs between C and B. Who among the following is an immediate neighbor of A? So based on the 2 cases, you will get one of the cases. So if you see this, now 6 chairs between C and B, you cannot put C here because there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, maximum 4 chairs. So C will be here, and in this case A will be here, right? Immediate neighbor of A could be I or H. So your answer will be I. Okay, so the immediate neighbor of A could be I or H. Among the options, it is I. If G and H exchange their places, then at most how many chairs can be there in between H and B, right? So if G and H exchange their places, so H will come here, right? It is saying at most how many chairs can be between H and B. So if you have to maximize the number of chairs between them, we will put B as far as possible. So we will consider this case, count the number of chairs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there could be 8 chairs, maximum 8 chairs between them. Okay, so whenever they say that, what could be the maximum number of this or that, so try to place them as far as possible. Okay, so this set was easy. I would say that it is something that if you are preparing for CAT, right, and is a serious aspirant, this should not take more than 6 minutes, right? If you are a really good one, right? If you are an average, then probably 8 minutes, but definitely not taking. This will never take more than 10 minutes, right? If you are taking more than 10 minutes in that, then you will have to rethink, right? Because it was fairly simple, right? One statement was bogus. I mean, that is important in statement, but yes, so I mean, there were just four statements. उसमें भी बहुत clearly बन जा रहा था. Just that you were getting some cases, but this was a easy set. Okay, all right. So if you enjoy these sets, please do like the session and share the session with your friends. Okay, all right. Let's do the next set. एक और set करते हैं आज के लिए. ठीक है, last set होगा आज का. So there was there were some people, right? They appeared in some competitive examination. Okay, and the structure was the total number of questions was 40. For each correct answer, it was +4, right? For incorrect answer, it was -2, and 1 mark was deducted for unattempted. Okay, so if that happens in other examinations, right? So I mean that would be very unfair, right? -1 for unattempted question, right? Even ZAD is not that bad, right? ZAD, how much does it deduct? It deduct 0.5 for unattempted, right? So that is too much, like 4 -2 -1. So quite difficult examination. I mean, the cutoffs would be low in such an examination, isn't it? Okay, so jokes apart, let's come to the question, right? So लोगों के नाम भी 5 है, 5 लोग थे, नाम भी 5 रख दिए, right? PANCH, 5 लोग 5 नाम. So sometimes I like create names like this, interesting names. Okay, 5 लोग थे, उन्होंने एग्जाम दिया, so their initials became PANCH. Okay, all right. So I mean, the first question is easy. You can answer this question. So Shantanu is like he's enjoying these PJs, right? So sometimes I crack some PJs. So first question is easy. पहले question तो आसान सा है. If Corey got a total of 64 marks, total number of correct answers he would have marked as. कितना आएगा आंसर? मार्किंग स्कीम दी हुई है, +4 करेक्ट, -2 फॉर इनकरेक्ट एंड -1 फॉर अनअटेम्प्ट क्वेश्चंस. ट्वेंटी is not correct. What happened? थक गए या ज्यादा हेवी सेट्स हो गए? See, how will we get this? He got 64 marks, right? इसने 12 अटेम्प्ट नहीं किए, ठीक है, तो 12 मार्क्स तो ऐसे ही लूज हो गए, राइट? सो ही मस्ट हैव गॉट 76, ठीक है. सो क्या होगा? सपोज ही गॉट x करेक्ट आंसर्स और y इनकरेक्ट, ठीक है. अगर x करेक्ट है और y इनकरेक्ट है तो उसके मार्क्स कितने बनेंगे? 4x - 2y, राइट? दैट शुड बी 76 एंड x + y इज 28, ठीक है. सो इसको सॉल्व कर लो, क्या आ जाएगा? राइट, x यू विल गेट, ये गड़बड़ क्यों आ रहा है? 6x 132, so x will be, you will get 22. Okay, you will get 22. Okay. See, he got 64 marks. He did not attempt 12 questions. So he lost 12 marks in this. So he must have got 76 marks in 28 questions. Right? So the number of questions is 28. Correct, he will get 4 marks. Incorrect, he will lose 2 marks. Okay. So 4, suppose he got x correct, y incorrect. So 4x minus 2y is 76 and x plus y is 28 because he attempted 28 questions. Okay, so 22 आ जाएगा. 22 correct, 6 incorrect. So you can verify also ना. 22 correct में कितने बन गए? 88 minus 12 बन गया 64 marks. That was simple, man. I mean, I think you got tired today. Previous question भी you are unable to do. ठीक है, हो जाता है. I mean, when you solve these questions in fresh, you would be able to do these faster. Okay. All right. Next question. The maximum score that Peter could have obtained is. What is the maximum score Peter could obtain? ये भी आसान है. इस सेट में इनफैक्ट आई जस्ट पुट वन डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चन. वन डिफिकल्ट क्या, आई मीन थोड़ा सा सोचना पड़ेगा उसमें, बट दिस वन इज आल्सो इजी. सिंपल है. इफ ही हैज टू हैव मार्क्स, मैक्सिमम मार्क्स 26 तो अटेम्प्ट किए हैं, ठीक है. अनअटेम्प्टेड अब क्या कर दो, बाकी मान लो 26 को 26 करेक्ट कर लो और 14 को अनअटेम्प्ट कर लो. सो 104 minus 14 you will get 90 marks. Right, so we will, when will a person get the maximum marks? So whatever he attempts are all correct. So 40 questions, so he will attempt all 26 correct and 14 will be unattempted, right? So 90 is the answer. Okay, the difference between the highest and the least possible scores of Henry is. ऐसे क्वेश्चंस में थीटा ही होना चाहिए. I mean, if they give options, then it becomes very simple to check from the options also, right? So these are the questions that should have theta. Okay, so that was easy. This is still, I mean, easy. Just you have to use that common sense. So this is a moderate level for most of the people. For smart people, it is easy. So what is the difference between the highest and the least possible scores of Henry, right? So Henry का highest possible कब होगा, जब उसके सारे correct होंगे, बाकी unattempted होंगे, right? So highest will be when he gets 18 correct and 22 unattempted. So that means 72 minus 22, 50 score हो जाएगा highest. Least कितना हो जाएगा? Least will happen when he gets, because 18 are correct, so when he gets 22 incorrect. So 72 minus 44, that will be 28. The difference is 22. Okay. So answer 22, 90, 22. Okay. If now this is a difficult question. ठीक है, मतलब थोड़ा सा सोचना है. Now if Peter had the highest marks in the examination, then at most how many questions he must have attempted wrong? This is a difficult question. Peter had the highest marks in the examination. How many, at most, how many questions he must have attempted wrong? अरे यार इसमें गलत हो गया शायद कुछ। हाँ that I think I took something wrong in that. अच्छा, we'll take it both cases, right? So Vikram, you are right. So I thought while creating the question, I thought that way. Now I figured out. गलती हो गई क्वेश्चन में, right? So I'll explain both the cases the way I thought while creating the question. I mean, I made a mistake in that, so we'll think of that. Okay. Now see this. Adam can get a high score of 64. ठीक है, हाईएस्ट पॉसिबल किसका आ सकता है पीटर के अलावा? नैथन का आ सकता है, राइट? नैथन गॉट 25 करेक्ट. सो लेट अस थिंक ऑफ टू सिनेरियोस, राइट, एंड ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड हाउ टू सॉल्व दिस, राइट? यहाँ पे देखने के बजाय कि गलत आंसर आ रहा है, सही आंसर आ रहा है, राइट? ऑल्दो दिस क्वेश्चन इज एम्बिगुअस in one way, but let us try to understand how do we get that answer. ठीक है, let us try to take two cases and understand the answer. ठीक है, अगर नैथन गॉट ही अनअटेम्प्टेड 15 क्वेश्चंस, ठीक है, सो नैथन का स्कोर कितना बनेगा? 85. ठीक है, राइट? नहीं, यू विल गेट 85. सो इन दैट केस पीटर का मैक्सिमम 90 आ सकता है. ठीक है, पीटर का मैक्सिमम 90 आ सकता है. सो इन दैट केस द आंसर विल बी 0. दोनों में आंसर डिफरेंट आएगा. ठीक है, देयर आर टू केसेस. There are two cases. ठीक है, so see this. If Corey could got 100, how could Corey get 100? अच्छा, that is also possible ना, ये तो मैंने सोचा ही नहीं. Corey could get 100, that is also correct. अच्छा, ये मैंने सोचा नहीं. I mean, I didn't think too much, so yes, that is also possible. Right, that is also possible. So I made some mistake. I'll tell you what I thought while creating the question. I mean, I didn't think of all parameters. That is sometimes that happens कि question गलत बन जाता है, right? So let us add some other conditions, right? Corey did not score the highest, right? Peter can get his 86. Peter can get his 90, right? Peter can get highest 90, right? Okay, अगर कोरी के 100 बन गए, right? So if I take कोरी 100 तो पीटर के तो highest हो ही नहीं सकते. ठीक है, so I didn't think of that. Okay, so let me give you a condition. Let us say, I mean मैं condition दे देता हूँ कि Nathan was the second highest scorer, right? Nathan attempted all questions. ठीक है, मैंने जो सोचा, जो कंडीशन मैंने गलत सोच ली. सो दैट कंडीशन वाज दैट नाथन अटेम्प्टेड ऑल क्वेश्चंस. ठीक है, एंड ही गॉट अ स्कोर ऑफ 70 बन रहा था. ठीक है, देखो अगर कोरी के 100 ले लोगे सो दैट इज नॉट पॉसिबल. ठीक है, हेनरी के 100 बन नहीं सकते. ठीक है, राइट? एंड एडम के 64 है, एडम के हाईएस्ट नहीं हो सकते. ठीक है, so what I took, I mean I didn't consider Corey, that was my mistake. Second mistake was I took this as 70. ठीक है, so see नाथन के मैक्सिमम कितने बन सकते हैं? 25 करेक्ट एंड 15 unattempted, right? So that will be 100 minus 15, 85. ठीक है, और नाथन के मिनिमम बन सकते हैं, नाथन के मिनिमम बनेंगे 70, right? नाथन, अच्छा, that should have been considered that I mean some additional conditions. Nathan scored the minimum possible marks, right? Corey did not get the highest. ठीक है, नहीं पीटर गॉट मोर देन, नहीं, अब इसमें नाथन के भी दो केसेस बन सकते हैं ना, राइट? अच्छा, ये लिख दिया तो कोरी के 100 नहीं होंगे. ठीक है, कोरी के 100 नहीं होंगे, सो दैट इज नॉट पॉसिबल. नाथन के 85 हो सकते हैं. अच्छा, आई गॉट इट नाउ. मैंने क्यों बनाया था क्वेश्चन और कैसे हो गया? यस, नाउ आई गॉट इट कि क्वेश्चन में लिख दिया पीटर के हाईएस्ट हैं और उसके मैक्सिमम पॉसिबल इनकरेक्ट निकालना है. ठीक है, अच्छा, सो कोरी कैन नॉट हैव 100. ठीक है, सो कोरी कैन नॉट बी द टॉपर क्योंकि क्वेश्चन में दे दिया है कि पीटर के हाईएस्ट है. ठीक है, हेनरी डेफिनेटली कैसे भी हाईएस्ट नहीं है, एडम के भी हाईएस्ट नहीं है। अब नाथन के 2 केस बन सकते हैं, ठीक है। अब मेरे को समझ में आ गया मैंने क्वेश्चन कैसे बनाया था। आई क्रिएटेड दिस क्वेश्चन लॉन्ग बैक, right now I've understood that why I created this question and why it was correct, right? Controversial lag raha tha, but now it is clear, right? So see, Nathan could have scored 85 or minimum 70, ठीक है। अब पीटर के अगर मैक्सिमम अटेम्प्ट रॉन्ग होंगे, right? If he maximize his attempts, that means he will get a minimum score. समझ में आया? If Peter has the highest marks and he is making the maximum number of wrong attempts, so he will have the minimum possible highest score. So minimum possible highest score means Nathan, we will not consider the case of Nathan as 85. So we have to maximize the number of questions that Peter attempted wrong. ठीक है, Peter ने maximum गलत किए, so it means he should get the minimum possible score. Despite at that minimum possible score, he should have 100, like he should be the topper, ठीक है। मिनिमम लाके पीटर को टॉपर बनाना है हमने। इज दैट क्लियर? मिनिमम लाके टॉपर कैसे बनाएंगे? जब हम नाथन को 70 लेंगे, ठीक है। अच्छा, अब लेट अस ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस कि पीटर के मैक्सिमम कितने हो सकते हैं। ही अटेम्प्टेड 26, अगर वो सारे सही करता है और बाकी अनअटेम्प्टेड 14 होते हैं, लाइक ऑल अगर और सारे 26 करेक्ट कर लेते हो तो वन ऑफ द क्वेश्चंस वी फिगर्ड आउट दैट Peter max is 90, ठीक है। Peter max is 90. Now अगर Peter एक क्वेश्चन गलत करेगा, so how many marks will he lose? He attempted 26, right? He attempted 26. अगर वो एक गलत करेगा तो कितने मार्क्स लूज करेगा? 4 करेक्ट के मिलते हैं, 2 इनकरेक्ट होने के मिलने हैं। He will lose 6 marks, right? He will lose 6 marks. जब आपका एक क्वेश्चन गलत होता है कैट में, यू थिंक लाइक दिस, राइट, कि 4 मार्क्स घुस गए, 3 सही होने के घुसे और एक नेगेटिव आया। He will lose 4 marks for that incorrect being 0. That is the difference, right? 6. अच्छा, एक इनकरेक्ट में उसका बनेगा 84, 2 इनकरेक्ट करेगा तो कितना बनेगा? 78, 3 इनकरेक्ट करेगा तो उसका बनेगा 72. He cannot go below 72. So the answer to this question is 3. Yes, so Vikram, yes, that we did was, right, we maximize the domain, we extend the domain to have the maximum incorrect for Peter. ठीक है, तो क्वेश्चन सही है। थोड़ा सा ambiguous लग रहा है at first instant, but yes, we have to maximize the wrong attempts of Peter. So we will put that he's the topper at the minimum possible score, and minimum possible score he can top will be 72. Is it clear? So let us try to think again. ठीक है, कोरी के 100 possible हो सकते हैं, I can know, right? Now we are given that Peter has the highest marks, so Corey will not have 100. Now Peter has highest marks, so Nathan, we know the extremities could be 85 and 70, right? But we have to maximize the wrong, we have to find the maximum possible numbers that he can get incorrect, ठीक है। मैक्सिमम कितने इनकरेक्ट हो सकते हैं? सो वी विल फाइंड द मिनिमम स्कोर एट विच ही विल टॉप। तो नाथन का मिनिमम तो 70 है ही, राइट? सो पीटर शुड स्कोर एटलीस्ट 70 मार्क्स। नाउ इफ ही स्कोर्स 1 इनकरेक्ट से 89 कैसे आएगा? सी, ही अटेम्प्टेड 26, he must have got 25 correct and 1 incorrect, right? So how much will be the score? 25 correct will give you 100, 1 incorrect will give you -2, and 14 unattempted, so that will result in 84. So for one question you lose 6 marks. 4 for that incorrect. See, 4 is correct, -2 is incorrect, the difference is 6. So if one question gets wrong, you lose 6 marks. ओके, हाँ, वही चीज है कि कितने मिनिमम करके क्वालिफाई कर सकती है, राइट? सो द क्वेश्चन इज करेक्ट, राइट? एट फर्स्ट वी थॉट दैट नो, समथिंग इज रॉन्ग इन द क्वेश्चन इज परफेक्टली फाइन. वी हैव टू maximize his wrong attempts, so we will find that the score at the minimum score that he will be the topper. So at minimum score he will be the topper is 72, right? So he can attempt a maximum of 3. Now we will not consider Cori then, right? Cori, I mean, see, Cori can have any range, isn't it? Cori can be more than this also, right? No matter whatever the score of Cori, Nathan cannot be more than, Nathan has to be 70 at least, right? So that will not affect. So Cori, if you take, right? So I mean, we have to maximize. It can go. Will see. Cori we are not fixed at, right? So Cori, if you take a lower value than 70, so Nathan is at 70 for fix for sure, right? So Cori will not affect his score. We have to maximize Peter now. So we'll try to. So what are the constraints that are given to us? So Peter is maximum. So we will like Cori will obviously be, if you take more than 70, then Peter's maximum will reduce, right? If you take less than 70, Peter's maximum will remain at 3. So Cori will not impact the answer. All right. Okay, so again, I mean, 3 easy, 1 difficult question, right? So again, a good set, right? And this is the Telegram group. You can join this group, right? And if you enjoy these sessions, please don't forget to like the session, right? So some really good sets we discuss in each of these classes, right? So this is the question for the next class, right? And please solve this question, and I hope you will enjoy solving this question, right? So it says that it's based on binary logic, right? So please do comment the answer in this comments of this video. Okay. All right. Yes. So through questions we clear many concepts also, right? So yes, you have to find Virat's rank from these statements. Okay. So like binary logic, I hope you solve these questions. All right, and so that brings us to the end of today's session, and these are our mentors, right? I'm sure you must have seen their classes, and you know that how good they are, right? Each one is expert of their own, right? And you must have attended their classes on Gradeup app. So we are offering 50% discount. So if someone wants to enroll with Gradeup Super subscription, you can use this code unlock50 and avail this discount on our courses. Okay, and these are the courses that we have recently launched. So in case you are preparing for non-CAT examinations also, right? We have launched courses for NMAT, CET, SNAP as well. So that is also on our list, and that's it for today's class, right? So a very long marathon, right? Some probably, I mean, I guess that this must have been the most difficult sets that we discussed, except 1 or 2. Most of the sets were heavy, right? Be it that 60 pointer. So some cool concepts that you must have learned is that game 1, right? 60 points that would have just given you like a different level to think, right? And even the last question of the last set, that was a good one, wherein you got a point how to think differently, and some good questions that we had, right? I hope you enjoyed today's session. So don't forget to like the session, and please do the solve that question that I've given you as the homework. Maybe not today, right? You can solve it later and answer in the comments of the video. In the next class we shall discuss that question, and we'll have more sets coming up in the next week. So that's it for tonight. Thank you for attending the class and attending the whole session. Many of you attended the entire class. I remember Aniket, Anubhav, right, Vikram and Mahima, all these guys, Vaibhav. So it seems that you really enjoy these sessions. That's great. Okay, and so we'll meet next week at the same time, 9 p.m. And with some more sets.